Congratulations, Yug! This calls for some surprise butt sex! Whoa. Ain't no surprise, check out my red eyes. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ain't no surprise, check out my red eyes.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to episode 108 of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist online ranked series. Back in about 2014, Konami started making a big effort in Yu-Gi-Oh! To release what was known as Legacy Support, where they started to go to some older archetypes and release new cards for them to bring them to life again and give them a little bit of a fresh start. And so today and over the next couple of episodes, we are going to be looking at some of those older archetypes, and today we're going to be looking at Joey Wheeler's favourite, the Red Eyes Black Dragon archetype. This was an archetype which I had to work a lot on to make it work and be semi-consistent, but I'm really happy with my results and excited to show you guys this video, which was a really fun duel against Tupac back 300. So into the details of the duel here. There's a lot of combos with Red Eyes, so I'm going to do my best to kind of detail them along the way. What I did in my first turn there was I played a card called Dragon Shrine and then sent a normal dragon monster, being Red Eyes Black Dragon, and another dragon type from my deck to my graveyard called Keeper of the Shrine. Then I use the effect of the Black Stone of Legend in order to tribute that card and special summon a Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon from my deck, and equipped it with Black Metal Dragon, which is an effect which will give it 600 attack points, making it 3000 attack. I also set Solemn Strike, which we are going to use very shortly to shut down my opponent's play of his Gishki Silgaigus. Gishki Silgaigus is a very big monster. It has 3200 attack, and so we want to get this off the field in order to protect our Red Eyes. So hopefully my opponent doesn't play another card this turn, but we'll see what they do. First they play Gishki Aqua Mirror, and by shuffling that card back into the deck, he can add Gishki Silgaigus from their graveyard to their hand. It's a good recycle effect, a good way to reuse these monsters again and again, and then my opponent ends the turn by setting one card down on the field. Over to my turn here. Before I play anything else, I'm going to first decide to go to my graveyard and see what effects I can activate, and I can activate the Black Stone of Legend one more time. Like Gishki Aqua Mirror, Black Stone of Legend has an effect where I can shuffle one Red Eyes Black Dragon or one Red Eyes monster from my graveyard into my deck, and then I can add that card back to my hand. However, I can't use its other effect where I contribute it to bring a Red Eyes out again this turn. I can only use one effect per turn, so that's going to stay in my hand. But it's a really good recursion effect for myself in order to kind of recover the cost that I'm spending in order to bring out these big monsters. Then I play Dragon Shrine once more, sending back the Red Eyes I sent to the graveyard, and now also another monster which I can revive, and that is going to be Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. Typically speaking, if you're going to send monsters to the graveyard, Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon is better than Red Eyes Black Dragon because Black Flare is treated as a normal monster in the graveyard, and if you can special summon it from the graveyard and then use an effect and able to normal summon it, you'll get the Gemini summon from it. We banished the Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon we had on the field and special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, but also for that we lost Black Metal Dragon and its effect also kicked in. Black Flare Metal Dragon's effect is that when it is sent to the graveyard, I can add a Red Eyes monster from my deck to, or Red Eyes card from my deck to my hand, and we added Red Eyes Retro Dragon, a really good hand trap for this archetype. Then using Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, I special summoned Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon from the graveyard to the field, and we attacked my opponent's face down card to reveal that it was Shadow Dragon. Shadow Dragon has the effect that when it is flipped face up, it can target one monster on the field and return it to their controller's hand, and therefore it returned Black Darkness Metal back to my hand. Really interested to see what Tupac's deck is now, because he seems to be melding Gishkis with Shadows, which is actually really quite clever. Gishkis are an archetype which focuses on ritual summoning, and they plus quite well and they recycle their effects really well, whereas Shadows are effects that all activate, that are all flip monsters, but also monsters that activate in the graveyard when they're sent there by an effect. Really awesome decision to try and meld these two together, because you're sending monsters to the graveyard for the effect of Gishki Aqua Mirror, and then yet you're getting more bonuses off of it by sending these monsters to the graveyard. Very clever, very smart. Really awesome deck idea I think Tupac has decided to do. So in this turn here, he is again playing Gishki Silgaigus. Gishki Silgaigus has the effect that it can pay 1000 life points and draw one card from the deck, kind of like a reverse Upstart Goblin. But if it is a Gishki monster, he then gets to add another one to his hand, I think. So now he recovers another Silgaigus, again keeping his hand size quite nice, and he has a big 3200 monster on the field and destroys my Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon quite easily. It's really kind of cool. Now we're going to activate Keeper of the Shrines effect, which activates whenever a dragon type monster on my field is destroyed by battle or card effect, and by doing so I can special summon it to the field. Then also, if it was a normal dragon type monster that was sent to the graveyard, I can also add a dragon type monster from my deck or graveyard to my hand, and I go for Red Eyes Black Dragon, which is really quite nice because I'm kind of getting a plus for I'm not losing any cards in the process of losing Black Flare Dragon, and I'm kind of getting a plus up for it. I don't really like having Red Eyes Black Dragons in my hand. I try to avoid it as much as possible, but I do have a drawing card which can just send it to the graveyard, so I can maybe use it as fodder for that later on. Unfortunately, there is no, besides Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, there's no real way of special summoning Red Eyes from your hand to the field, and so you need to be a bit careful of that. My opponent finishes them up by setting up their board. They summon out Elder Shadow. I can't remember what the name is, but it is the water type of El Shadow, kind of linking the Gishki archetype and the Shadow archetype together. And I believe it has an effect which swaps monsters effects, that swaps special summon monsters effects, and can negate those. So I've got to be careful with what I do here. So I go for the Black Stone of Legend. I tribute off to special summon a Red Eyes Black Dragon from my deck to the field. Then I am going to special summon out Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and I'm going to special summon that with its 2800 attack. Maybe I was wrong, maybe it doesn't negate effects. I'm going to have to read on what that water monster does again. It does do some kind of disruption effects, which I had to be careful of. So what I choose to do here is I choose to special summon another Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon from my graveyard to the field through Darkness Metal Dragon's effect, and I'm going to use my 2 level 7s in order to do an XC summon. We are going to XC summon into number 11, Big Eye, who is a really good card who used to see a lot more play than he does now. Unfortunately, rank 7 box is not as good as a rank 8 box, which is why Blue Eyes White Dragon is so popular. But Big Eye is still a nice monster because it can take an opponent's monster and you get to keep it for as long as you want. Unfortunately, this turn Big Eye will not be able to attack, but I was able to take Silk Igus, and now we'll be able to use that to attack Nyeeeehhh. I couldn't read what that monster's name was. Nyeeeehhh. I don't know. Nyeeeehhh as a Shadow fusion. When it gets sent to the graveyard, my opponent gets to add a Shadow spell or trap card from their graveyard to their hand, more recursion for their efforts. And now I attack into Shadow Falco, whose effect allows them to choose a Shadow monster in their graveyard and special summon it onto the field in face and defense position. And so they're going to go for Shadow Dragon, which they can use again in their turn to bounce back a monster I control. Most likely they're going to bounce back Big Eye because that will go to the extra deck and I won't be able to use it anymore. Or they could go for Silk Igus if they need to. So my opponent now plays Shadow Fusion one more time. What's great about Shadow Fusion is that my opponent can actually use materials from their deck in order to special summon their monsters. And so this time they send a Shadow monster and Dandelion in order to bring out Shikinga. I think it's Shikinga, I might be saying that wrong, but I call it Shikinga. And Shikinga has a whopping 3000 defense. And this one I think is the one that negates a special summon monster's effect, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, please correct me, but I've never really played Shadows. I've played against them and they're really cool. I really actually do dig the Shadow archetype, but something which I haven't been able to touch yet, and I will try and do so in the future. So like I assumed before, my opponent flips up Shadow Dragon, gets rid of Big Eye, and I'm going to lose my materials for that. And so now I've only got 2 big monsters in the field. My question is, does my opponent have an answer for it? They do not, so they go to the end phase. And I draw into the drawing card for this deck, Cards of the Red Stone. Cards of the Red Stone is a very restrictive card. You can only use certain targets. You send 1 level 7 Red Eyes monster from your hand to the graveyard, and then you get to draw 2 cards. Then if you choose to, you can send another Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard. It's a really good effect. If you get it early on, it's a good way to set up your graveyard and send more monsters to the graveyard. But I had to be careful because I don't want to send too many Red Eyes monsters in the graveyard and make certain other cards, such as the Black Stone of Legend, dead too early on. So, a couple of things which are happening there. I normal summon Kinkabio. Kinkabio is a level 1 spirit monster which special summons another level 1 monster from my graveyard, that being Black Metal Dragon, and we sent them to the graveyard for a contact fusion into Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which is a whopping 3000 attack monster. And by sending those two to the graveyard, I get to trigger out Black Metal Dragon's effect once again by adding another card to my hand. It's a really, really good contact fusion. I really love the synergy between Kinkabio and Black Metal Dragon in this deck because it allows me to plus, and it turns that normal spirit monster into a 3000 attack beat stick, which is really kind of cool. So we attack Shikinga with Seal Gygus. I chose not to use its effect until I destroyed Shikinga first, and then we are going to use Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon in order to attack Shadow Dragon. Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon has the effect that it will do damage to my opponent's life points equal to the attack of the beast type monster I used for the contact fusion. Kinkabio has only 400 attacks, so it's not a huge amount of damage, but it is nice to do a little bit of extra damage for free. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Now I use Seal Gygus' effect, and I managed to draw out Secret of the Dragon Lords. No, Return of the Dragon Lords, my apologies, and I bring out now a Red Eyes Darkness through Darkness Metal Dragon's effect, and now I use Return of the Dragon Lords to bring out one from my graveyard, bringing out 2 level 7 monsters, and so I'm going to put some more pressure on my opponent by bringing out the new rank 7 synchro for Xe for this deck, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon has an amazing effect. It has 3 awesome, really good effects. The first one is it cannot be destroyed by my opponent's card effects. That alone is great because there's good protection for this monster and it likes to keep it on the field for a while. I'll tell you what the other effect is in a moment once we get into my opponent's turn. But the last effect that it has is that during either player's turn I can detach a monster from Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon and I can actually special summon a normal Red Eyes monster from my graveyard, so I can bring out more monsters for free. Effectively, I can actually get back my costs that I used to bring out this monster in order to summon it by using its own effect. Now, what's happening here is that Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, no, it's not called Flare Metal Dragon, I can't remember the name of the Xe monster right now. The Xe monster from Red Eyes, anytime my opponent activates a card effect, I get to burn my opponent for 500 damage. So this is putting a little bit of pressure on 2-pack. It's a Flare Metal Dragon, that's the one. And every time they do an effect now, they're going to lose 500 life points. So I've burnt them for 1,500. If he does one more effect, I win the game. He summons like Lila, Light Sword Sorceress. I did not expect to see this card at all. And I think at this point, my opponent realizes I kind of got them against the ropes here. Well, still, he hasn't given up yet. He goes for a Synchro Summon and brings out Clear Wing Synchro Dragon in defense position, forming up a nice wall against my opponent. But that's not going to really help him too much because I have effects like Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which when it attacks will do damage equal to Kinkabio's attack. So we are going to wrap this up here and we are going to try and finish this game one more time. I'm just reading the cards one more time, making sure there's nothing that can shut down my effects, and B-Size Pendulum Dragon is going to win the game for us. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really enjoy playing this deck here, and I might be doing some streaming with this deck a bit more to show it off, and hopefully you'll look forward to the next Legacy deck. Thank you for tuning in as always, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
But now, guess what? I'm starting a new list. It's a list of stupid idiots, and all of you are on it. You. And especially you.